Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're reviewing this Chevy Silverado 3500 High Country dually. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Chevy here in Provo for giving me some time with this truck. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check what they have currently. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a 6.6 liter turbo diesel V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs with this are 470 horsepower and then 975 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the front end, of course, we got the giant hood scoop. It's kind of like a Chevy design detail. And then our Allison transmission, Duramax badge, all of that. Fancy headlight design here. Does a cool sequential move with the High Country. You've got tons of chrome trim here in the grille. Also down below with the recovery points, you got fog lights, painted bumper. It's a fancy looking truck. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 235 by 80 by 18 in the front and over in the rear. Again, dually setup in the rear. And then wheel design, again, dualies are always going to have slightly different wheels compared to regular trucks, but pretty cool setup if you ask me in terms of what they've done to match the High Country theme. You can see on the mirror cap, also the door handles, fixed side steps, got the bedside step as well, and we'll take a few steps back so you can see the side profile. Massive. Here's a quick look at the back wheels, so you can see the design there. And then we do have leaf springs here in the rear as well. And then here's a quick look at the key fob. We've got a lock and unlock function, remote start. We got the tailgate drop down, Chevy bow tie, and pop the tailgate down. Look at that. Fancy. Now we do have lights here on the bed. We've got our fifth wheel prep already, 8-foot bed with this truck. Got an outlet in the bed as well. And High Country means high luxury, so tailgate raises by itself. So the High Country logo there with a little bumper step, and that's the rest of the rear. And then, popping inside, you can see we've got nice soft touch trim there at the top. That's cool with the wood trim that goes across, and then more with all of the stitching. That's cool. Speaker for the sound system. Got the fancy High Country seats, so behind the seat storage there. Nice trim all down the center and then on the side too. Plenty of legroom. Got a flat loading floor there. We've got some cup holders, heated seats in the back, USB ports, all of that. And then headroom back here is solid and sleek. Now this leads up front, so you can see again with all of the soft touch trim and then the wood trim as well. Quick look at the mirrors, do have blind spot monitoring. Got all of our stitching down below. Window controls here, front two are automatic. Got all of your mirror adjustments. The mirrors do power fold in, they also extend out. Got your memory seat function with it. Payload capacity 5,235 pounds. And then down below, you guys can see the gross vehicle weight rating is 14,000 pounds. With this, that's quite impressive. Conventional towing is 20,000. Gooseneck is 31,000. And then here are the front seats, High Country there. Nice trim all down the center. For our power adjustments on the side, you can see with our driveline select there, it does have an advanced four-wheel drive system. Also have the heads-up display controls. You've got the controls for all of the lights too. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see soft touch all around. You've got nice stitching in the center. Radio controls in the back. We've got a bunch of practical controls here in the front, including controls to the center. Cruise control with our heated steering wheel button. And then get your turn signal windshield wiper stalk. Good old-fashioned column shifter. And then what's not good old-fashioned is this gauge cluster. So yeah, full digital gauge cluster here. But I mean, it shows you a bunch of different bits of information on the truck. Pretty cool setup. Now we do have a 360 camera system. So you can see I have a bunch of different angles with this. Got a bed view. That's pretty cool, if you ask me. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, quick response time with this, so that's really solid. Shortcut bar there on the side, you got the auxiliary tab there as well. Bunch of physical buttons here, including diesel exhaust brake, lane departure, parking sensors. We've got our tailgate drop and raise function, hazard lights, stability control. That's all the windows to roll them all down at once. Trailer brake controls, heated and ventilated seats, dual zone climate with the High Country. You got this storage space area, again with more of that nice wood trim on the side. It says High Country right there. Wireless phone charging pad inside. Again, more storage. Nice trim all across the dash, heads-up display. And then, that's cool with the glove box, it's got wood trim. But, yeah, pretty solid. Camera rear view mirror. And then we do have a power sliding rear window. And that's sunroof. So here's our window sticker, 2025 3500 High Country, $90,365. Wow, that's so much less than Ram and Ford. What are those buffoons thinking with their pricing? Anyways, let's take out the Chevy. Let us set off in the Dually. Visibility through both the mirrors, throughout the rest of the rear. If you're wondering the accent I'm doing, it's the old farm boy Utah accent. I used to sell trucks and sold a lot of trucks to farm boys, and yeah, there's a Utah accent. It's pretty endearing. I like it. So that's if you want to do the Utah accent, that's one of the things you got to do. Instead of saying dually, right? Dually, you got to say dually. I want me a dually. Okay. Anyways, let us see how this performs. Seats are actually pretty comfortable. A little bit firmer. It's kind of what Chevy's known for. Man, this is a big beast. The vehicle I just reviewed before this was a Mazda Miata. So I pretty much just went from the smallest new car you can buy to the biggest. And this isn't a car, it's a truck, but you guys get the point. It's a torque monster. It's smooth though. It's very smooth. It's a nice ride. Yeah, the torque is just consistent all the way through, and we'll see how this feels. Woohoo! Yeah, that's fast. Jeez. Why do you need that much power? Well, I guess if you had 31,000 pounds behind you, that makes some sense. You need the power. It's impressive though. Seriously impressive. Wow. I will say this is, maybe it's just because I haven't reviewed an HD truck and a dually in a minute. I reviewed a couple HD trucks the other day, but it just feels massive right now to drive. I think if I drove it for a little bit longer, then I'd kind of get used to it. Go around the roundabout and see how this feels. And when I say massive, it's not unwieldy. Like, I'm able to drive it and fit through the little areas here and everything just fine. I just have to think about it a lot more, is a good way to put it. Like in a half-ton truck, I don't even have to think about it. I can just thread the needle, zero brain. This, I do feel like I've got to use my brain a little bit. See what the turning radius is if I do a sharp stop. It's pretty big. Yeah, it's pretty big. I did have to get this out of a tight parking space, and it took me probably 5+ minutes. So suffice to say, I'm not going to park this back there. I'm going to park it somewhere else. Sue me. So yeah, altogether, I think this truck drives really well. And the biggest thing is, this is pretty much just as capable as the Ford and the Ram, but it's a lot more affordable. You know, Ford and Ram at their top line package. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be parking back up there. Ford and Ram with their top line package, we're parking down here. You're like $110,000 MSRP. Now Ram has discounts on pretty much everything because they can't sell anything. So because, well, it's $20,000 more expensive than the Chevy equivalent. But Ford's up there too with their dualies. They're up there at that super expensive price range. I guess I should probably put this a little bit close to that Suburban. So Chevy's the best value in town, and you know, I would say objectively, I like this just as much as the Ram in terms of the interior and everything, and the Ford. The Ford's got some fancier features, but I don't really think they're necessary, if you ask me. So I don't know. This has everything that you'd want. It's nice interior. It feels nice and, you know, fancy but durable, kind of like what you'd want for a farm truck. Fancy farm truck though, of course. So yeah, I don't see a world where spending an extra 20 grand on a Ford or Ram makes any lick of sense. I think that this is the one to go for until Ford and Ram decide to bring their prices back to reality. Again, I've said this in the past, like I'm a Ram person personally. Like I've owned, what, 3 Rams in my life. I've also owned some Fords too, but I kind of always lean a little bit more towards the Rams. But yeah, if I were to be in the market for a pickup truck right now, it'd be a Silverado. But let me know what you think.